Jazz and blues, from oppression to expression. A narrative on the periodic evolution of two soulful genres. One roots in resilience. The birth of blues in slavery's shadow. The story of blues begins in the deep south of the United States during the 19th century, born from the sorrowful laments of African American slaves. These early songs, often sung in the fields, were raw expressions of pain, longing, and spiritual endurance. With roots in African musical traditions and spirituals, the blues emerged as a form of emotional survival, a coded language of resistance and hope. Two post-emancipation echoes, blues as a voice of freedom. After emancipation, the blues evolved into a more structured musical form. Artists like W.C. Handy and Ma Rainey began to formalize the genre, bringing it into juke joints and vaudeville stages. The 12-bar structure became iconic, and the guitar, harmonica, and piano became its instruments of choice. Though still steeped in sorrow, the blues now carried the voice of a people navigating freedom, poverty, and racial injustice. 3. The Jazz Age, a new language of liberation. In the early 20th century, jazz burst forth from New Orleans, blending blues with ragtime, brass band traditions, and improvisation. It was the sound of urban Black America, complex, spontaneous, and defiant. Artists like Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington transformed jazz into a sophisticated art form, challenging musical norms and racial boundaries. Jazz became the soundtrack of the Harlem Renaissance, a cultural explosion of Black pride and creativity. For migration and metropolis, Chicago, New York, and beyond. As African Americans migrated northward during the Great Migration, jazz and blues followed, reshaping themselves in urban landscapes. Chicago blues became electrified, with legends like Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf amplifying the genre's grit. Meanwhile, bebop emerged in New York, with Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie pushing jazz into cerebral, avant-garde territory. These cities became crucibles of innovation, where oppression met artistic rebellion. 5. Civil rights and sonic protest. Music as movement. During the civil rights era, jazz and blues became tools of protest and solidarity. Nina Simone's Mississippi Goddam and John Coltrane's Alabama were sonic responses to racial violence. These genres gave voice to the struggle, offering both catharsis and confrontation. The music was no longer just entertainment. It was activism, echoing the chants of marches and the cries for justice. 6. Fusion and freedom. Crossing genres and global borders. By the 1970s and beyond, jazz and blues began to fuse with rock, funk, and world music. Miles Davis's electric experiments and B.B. King's crossover appeal brought these genres to new audiences. Jazz festivals flourished globally, and blues found echoes in British rock and African guitar styles. The music transcended its origins, becoming a universal language of soul and spirit. 7. Contemporary reverberations, heritage, and hybridity. Today, jazz and blues continue to evolve. Artists like Esperanza Spalding, Gary Clark Jr., and Robert Glasper blend tradition with innovation, honoring the past while pushing boundaries. These genres remain vital, not as relics, but as living expressions of identity, resistance, and joy. From underground clubs to global stages, the spirit of jazz and blues endures, resilient, rebellious, and radiant. 8. From chains to chords, the legacy of expression. The journey of jazz and blues is a testament to the power of art to transform pain into beauty. Born from oppression, these genres became vessels of expression, healing, and transcendence. They remind us that music is not just sound. It is history, emotion, and revolution. In every riff and rhythm, the soul of a people sings. Note to viewers: like, share, and subscribe. If this narrative moved you, enlightened you, or simply made you groove, don't forget to hit that like button. Share it with fellow music lovers and history buffs, and subscribe to the channel for more